sleeping in my sleeper, and I actually had a pretty nice sleeper built at the time. I only claimed like 9.5 feet of space, and I built a really nice sleeper with Tempur-Pedic type of mattress and you know, nice shelves and everything. I don't have anything this nice anymore because I figured, hey, I just don't need these luxuries anymore. But at the time, you know, I kind of thought, you know, it's good. Plus, me and my wife, we expedited, so I needed that extra sleeper. So while I'm driving, she could go in the back and sleep. But anyways, this drunk driver just hits me in the front of my Sprinter, just completely totals it, guys. Basically, it knocked my Sprinter back 20 feet. So, you know, I was side street parked at my uncle's house. I ended up side street parked at his neighbor's house, guys. That's how bad it was, the hit. That's why I know it's like at least 20 feet. I did not measure, but guys, if you end up in somebody else's driveway, the side, like a street park, then how many feet is that? That's got to be at least 20 feet. Sometimes that neighbor actually would side street park his car. Good thing he didn't. He actually parked it in a driveway. They also have a garage, so like maybe they park in the garage, I don't know. But anyways, guys, I'm like sleeping, man. I'm like knocked out, cold sleeping, man. And then boom, you know, out of nowhere, you know what it felt like? It felt like an explosion, guys. Like it was like so horrible. Like just knocked me back, and like I went flying inside and hit the ceiling and wall and whatever, like, and I just fell down, man. I was like thinking, well, you know, I mean, you wake up, you know, first of all, if somebody wakes you up, you're like, whoa, whoa, you know, what's going on? And then, I mean, imagine me trying to be in that type of situation. Like, I started basically crawling out of my Sprinter. I'm thinking I just got blown up, guys. That's actually what it felt like. I know it's funny, but man, it felt like somebody just launched a bazooka at me. It blew my van up, and it knocked me back. That's what it felt like, because I mean, you could imagine it's throwing you up and everything, plus your van slid back that far. It was screeching sound and everything like that, guys. I step outside and I immediately go to the back, because in my mind I got hit in the back, because you know the Sprint nose is cut off, and so I'm kind of like, I didn't even look there, you know. So I went to the back and I'm thinking, what the heck just happened? It's so straight over here. So then I walk out to the front and I'm looking, I'm thinking, whoa, it's just the whole thing just, you know, it was messed up. You know, it was not, it was repairable, but it was totaled according to the insurance company. But anyways, guys, that driver, you might be thinking, well, how could you miss that? Like, where did the driver go? Well, the driver hit me backwards. He was driving a 2000 Volkswagen Jetta, was actually decided to go full speed going backwards, you know, out of all things. And so he basically made his back kind of like go inside like this, and he was able to run away. And so that driver just ran away, and here I am outside hurting like crazy. I barely, like, you know, like if you fell down like from a tree before, or like somewhere high, like, oh, you're like trying to stretch out, like, man, I feel like I can't even stretch out. Like, it was so bad. So I was like standing there, and then this driver just started going back, and he almost ran me over again, because he actually went the wrong way in the street, got lost, came back around, and I was already on the phone with the cops. I'm thinking, you know, look, I don't know what happened, and you know, so they immediately started searching. It's like Indian Trail. They have like nothing better to do, so like they found him basically like somewhere on the street, and they called me up like, yeah, we got him, and that kind of thing. Plus there was shells and everything left from that other car, so you could tell what color it is, what kind of stuff. So I actually gave him the description, because, you know, I understand cars. But anyways, guys, I don't want to talk about the accident, but that's a start of my life, guys. That's a start of a failure of my life. So my Sprinter gets hit. I don't have nothing to drive, so I still have a driver. So I still have another driver that just started on me. So my driver that just started for me, he quits with his first run. It does not work out, because he makes a mistake, and you know, and it just wasn't for him. He also had a pregnant wife, which was further along than my wife, and it wasn't for him. So, you know, he quit, and I'm at that point where I was already financial stretched, because I just bought that van. I just put all my money into it, so I didn't have like anything extra. I barely was actually able to make the insurance payment, because I'm trying to grow, like stretching myself out thin, but trying to grow my expediting fleet, you know. So, and that's how a lot of expediters are right now. So if some of them are listening right now and they're trying to build a fleet, they understand how it is. You know, you're trying to use all your finances just so you get that one van, make sure it's running good, and you know, you go from there. You know, it's tough. And then, guys, guess what? So I'm thinking, okay, you know, my wife is telling me, Well, maybe we should just, maybe it's a sign. Maybe you should just not, you know, do expedite anymore. Plus, I'm pregnant, just be with me. And I'm thinking, okay, so it's fine. So I kind of figured I'm just going to get another driver for that van and I'll just be with my wife and that kind of thing. No go, it's not going to work out like that. My driver quit, okay? He quit driving that van. I wasn't able to make the payments on it. I got that van repoed, so now I don't have that van. The Chevy Express van was the only one I had, so I actually used that. I got back to Florida. Since we decided that we were not going to expedite anymore, that's it. I guess that wasn't on you know, part of the plan. So then I had to work a long time with the insurance company, guys. I'm telling you, like, it took them like 6 months to figure something out. In the meantime, my van was towed to a storage location. I had to pay storage fees, which have to be deducted out of the settlement. So I'm not going to get into how much I got paid for that because it's irrelevant at this point. But anyways, I started living back in Florida, and at that time, it's 2011, guys, there's like no jobs in Florida. I couldn't find no work, man. I submitted like I'm telling you, like dozens of applications, like online and stuff. Nobody would hire me, even though before, man, I had like no problem getting a job, you know, but it was no jobs. I didn't even care what kind of job to take, man. So I ended up actually taking this one job. I started, because I used to do construction, I started working for Pool Brick and Tile. The guy gave me like 15 bucks an hour. Well, so he said he will, you know. He never paid me. I worked for him like 3 weeks. He never even paid me. Not because I didn't do good work, but because he keep promising week to week. He's like, oh, I'll pay you next week. Oh, I'll pay you next week. And then he's calling me up at the third week. Hey, why are you gonna come in today? I'm like, well, I told you, you know, if you don't pay me, then, you know, I'm not gonna come in because I actually need some kind of payment. I said I gotta, you know, by this time I already have a baby. You know, Kevin, he's really tiny, man. I'm barely, you know, able to afford diapers and stuff for him, and I have to actually get like some help from a church. And of course, getting a van repo did not help my credit situation. So it means now I have no credit. You know, after almost like over 2 years owning that Sprinter van, I get it basically repossessed. I didn't even make enough money to actually cover anything. You know, I still owed like $27,000 on it, guys. You know, it was crazy. So I've learned from that point, do not basically get a new van anymore. You know, this business is not guaranteed. Like, you're not going to be able to maybe make payments, and that's it. Plus, at that time, guys, work was really slow with expediting as well, so my drivers were not staying that busy. So driver needed to get his own van, so he at least could maximize his earnings. So that is understandable. And so guys, so basically I was working for that guy. I didn't have any you know, any kind of, I guess, money to even pay for diapers and stuff. So I had to quit that guy and look for something else, basically. And you know, and I kind of like basically put my Chevy Express for sale because I needed the money. I actually got pretty good money for it. I think at the time I sold it for like $6,500. So I actually had to go back to Charlotte and I sold it. And then you know, I've used that money to basically get myself a car. So me and my wife, we got an Audi TT. Basically I used Audi TT, and so expediting again wasn't on my mind because me and my wife decided, hey, you know, while she's having a baby, you know, we're not going to expedite because I will try to help her out best I can. You know, it turns out I'm still not much help. You know, I don't do the diaper changes. I don't get up at night to try to watch the baby. So not a really good, I guess, helper when it goes to that. My wife handled all that kind of stuff. I guess I was just more there for the moral support type of thing. So so anyways, guys, finally my settlement for the van came through. You know, I got paid some money for my Sprinter van. And immediately I kind of think, okay, man, I gotta go back to expedite. I talked to my wife and she's like, yeah, it looks like, you know, yeah, it's gonna be best thing to do. And you know, so she was okay with it. So I went ahead and I'm thinking, man, all this time people were telling me, hey, why are you driving a Sprinter? It's so expensive to do all these repairs. Why don't you get American, get a Ford? Ford, you could get parts anywhere. Ford is Ford, man. Ford is an engine in every junkyard, and you could get this and that and other thing. So I get a Ford box truck. You know, really nice one. It looked nice, it smelled nice. I bargained and I got it for like $6,500 even though it was listed like for like $7,500. but the actual value of that box truck at that time, because it's a 2005, it has like 270,000 miles on it. It was actually valued at about like $14,000. So I was not sure like why the guy was selling it to me so cheap. So I went ahead and got it, and man, very same day that it started smoking so bad, like